one of the biggest jobs any, woman can do is be a mum if they choose to do that. I mean, it's the next generations that we're bringing in, but we can have that and have a career as well, right? We just need to find a balance in that and not feel guilty about balancing, not spending 18 hours at work and perhaps really, doing the 9 to 5, having the children at the time. And if you do want to work, I know I used to, not that I'm perfect by any means, but when I had my kids and I was working in corporate, I would definitely work my 9 to 5, pick them up, spend time with them, dinner, everything, put them to bed, and then I'd go back and I'd work. But I'd have that quality time in there where they didn't feel, that I didn't see them, or I didn't feel like I wasn't doing that part of my work as well. So I think it's important to find a balance within that. And it's not an either or, we can have both. But I
Mm-hmm.
think because of being in that mindset of working as many hours as we can, a lot of single young women haven't had the opportunity to actually create space for a partner or a family if they choose to. So it's starting to come up to that as well. So it's just helping a lot of women work through that at the moment and finding what is their passion, because there's as women, they if you do decide to choose career, there's this guilt that you haven't had children. And if you do decide to focus on children, there's this guilt that why didn't you push for a career and, all the rest. So it's kind of like finding that balance and not listening to what people are saying, but doing what you're being called to do internally. Again, what drives you, what excites you, because at the end of the day, nobody feels your happiness, your guilt, your sadness besides you when you go to sleep at night. So we have to decide what it is that we want in our lives. Yeah.
And
What are our values? I don't know.
yes,
What do you think about that?
well, I'm also seeing those things happening because
Hmm.
even in my own life, I mean, uh, my wife, she just recently has a new boss, more
Mm-hmm.
or less recently because it's been 8 months with this guy.
Uh-huh.
And since this person arrived to the office or to the workplace, he has been demanding to for everyone to be in the office because the previous boss had a different agreement and they
Mm-hmm.
work by at home 2 or 3 days and they went to the office 2 or 3 days depending
Mm-hmm.
the needs. And now this guy demands that everyone is at the office every day and more or less 11 to 12 hours for everyone. And this is just disrupting first the health of my daughter, of course. She reflected
Mm-hmm.
that very easily. And then she doesn't even have time to do anything else but what is the work. And this person is just asking things even on weekends or even on vacation days. And I just told her, why are you answering those messages? You are in your
Mm-hmm.
out of your schedule of work. You need to put boundaries because if not, he's going to think that he can do this every
Yeah.
day at every moment and he is going to keep doing that. So as you mentioned, people needs to find this, no, enough is enough. This
Mm-hmm.
is the boundary. You hire me for a certain schedule. If you don't finish the work, you will never finish first because
Yeah.
that's the process of having work.
Yeah.
And second, if you ask me to finish something and I'm tired and I don't have time or space for my family, what is going to happen? I'm going to have
Yeah.
problems at my house, and then those problems are going to be reflected in my health, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to miss work, or I'm going
Yeah.
to take the decision that this is not the job that I want.
Mm-hmm.
So we keep making these loops of toxicity that
Mm-hmm.
we keep seeing in the workplace, and they are just messing with people's energy, with people's health. And I think for me, and what we were going to discuss also today, is about how having a life direction, having your values uh, settled, means also to care about your health.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't realize that, if you don't have health, and if you haven't learned that by those 3 years that passed, that if you didn't have health,
Yeah.
you're just gone. You don't, you cannot work, you cannot do the things that you cannot think. So I don't know what is missing for people, and I think that these cycles are going to keep expanding until they just kind of explode people in a way that they are just going to break down, and there is going to be a crisis again. And then probably we will learn that we need space and time to to do whatever we want.